Hello people, this is Christy and I'm starting a new series on YouTube because a lot of you on Instagram have asked how I make my products from start to finish, and I had to make a greeting card for my Patreon rewards in the month of March. And I also figured this was the easiest product that the majority of you can do at home as long as you have a printer and a computer, some paper to draw on. So this is it. I'm starting off by sketching out an idea that I had, which was to write the message on what looks like a sticky note, taped with washi tape, because that's just what I like to do. And so I'm trying to figure out what style I want to go for. And yeah, by the way, I'm trying to do this voiceover in one take, so we'll see how this goes. After I figured the design that I like, I got my laptop, which is a Microsoft Surface Book. And look, the screen detaches and I can flip it around. It's so cool. It also has a really great pen that comes with it. It's basically like the iPad Pro, but a full-blown laptop version. And that's why I love it. So I'm using Photoshop to draw. This is what I do for all of my digital work. And I'm just recreating the sketch that I like. And I don't know how to use Photoshop other than how I use it with this laptop. I have not downloaded anything extra for it. I know that there are a lot of different pens that artists have created that you can download or purchase, but I am just using the normal pressure tools that are already with the program and just doing different pressure settings. I also like to put on the smoothing to about 20 to 30%. I don't know if any of this matters to you guys, but if you are a digital artist, maybe you understand what I mean by smoothing. So I like to start with the outline. I do a darker color, but I don't like to use black. And I am trying to figure out a color palette as I go. You'll see that I adjust the colors throughout the process. And that's the nice thing about digital art for sure, is that you can adjust the opacity, you can adjust the color, you can adjust the size. So I think with this design, I decided to go for something that wasn't super refined, kind of more on the sketchier type of feel. I want it to feel like it was still part of my sketchbook, basically. Just filling in the solid colors. I want the colors to be vibrant and bright. Or at least that's what I thought at first. I ended up changing that as well. By the way, the glove that I have is a gift that I got from my sister. It was one of the only things that I wanted for Christmas. And it prevents the palm of my hand from triggering the touch screen, and so that way it registers my pen instead of my hand. It's really useful. I know other people have just like gotten a normal glove and cut off the middle pointer and thumb, but these fit really well for me. So all right, now that the design is finished, I'm gonna flip my laptop back around so I can have the keyboard, because that is how I work best. And I'm going to export it. But before that, I did end up changing the colors. It was a little too dark for me. I've been really into more brighter colors. If you look at my Instagram feed, I've been trying to shoot for more clean, bright, I don't want to say pastel because it's not really pastel, but kind of that vibe. If you go to my Instagram, you'll kind of see what I mean with my feed. So I exported it as a PNG, so that way the background of it is transparent and it makes it a lot easier to move around. And now I'm opening Illustrator, and this is just a file that I had when I created the greeting card version of the virtual pet postcard. So that way all of the dimensions are already in there, and just using that as a template pretty much. And I knew that I wanted to have a background for the front of the cards. That's why I exported it as a PNG, so I could put something in the background really easily. And so what I'm doing right here is I'm putting the dimensions of the greeting card in place, so that way I kind of have guidelines. It makes it a lot easier to center the images and center my watermark that goes on the back of the card as well. So I decided I was going to go with that grid pattern that I used for the virtual pet postcard as well. I don't know why I'm like into this aesthetic right now. But that's what I decided to do, so I'm fitting it in there. And here I'm just playing around with the size and the placement of the postcard. Was I saying postcard this whole time? I meant post-it. So with the dimension of the greeting card that I normally use, I can fit 2 on a normal 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I have this really nice, thick cardstock paper that I bought from FedEx. They just sold me a ream of it because I told them I was trying to make greeting cards at home. I'll figure out the actual details of it and I'll put it in the description. But this is the new Canon printer that I got at the beginning of March. It's so awesome. And I printed out my first test run and the colors were still way too dark. I didn't like it. I was hoping it was just the lighting in my room because I was making this at night, but nope, it was really dark. So back to the drawing board, and I know that I could be doing test batches I could make the image smaller on the paper and waste less ink and waste less paper as well, but I figured even though the colors are wrong, I could still make a greeting card out of it and I could still use it for my own personal use. So that's what I did. And so I lightened everything up, and I even tried to cut the first test batch just to see where the grid lines were and to see if I put my watermark in the right area. And as you can see, it's a little bit too much to the left, so it allowed me to make those edits for the second test run that I just did. So I cut up this second test run just to see if I got the alignments all right and to see if I still like the colors or not. It's definitely a little bit better. Super cute. I ended up wanting to add more to the design, so I went back into Photoshop and I added these little crayon squiggles in the corners, and I think it added a little bit more character to it. After that, I printed a couple more pages because this is for the highest tier in my Patreon, and I have 7 people there, so that was the amount of cards that I made. So I just cut them up and started preparing them for shipping. This is also my drawer of plastic madness. This is how I package everything. They all have different dimensions, which is the hard part, but this is like the standard greeting card dimension that I use. Normally I order greeting cards off of Vistaprint. I have a partnership with them and they are also really cheap if you're ordering a lot. I've never had any problems with any products that I've ordered through them, but I've mainly only ordered greeting cards, so I have a lot of their envelopes from leftover orders that I've had, and so that's why I choose the dimension that I did. And I got these sleeves from my local Ben Franklin, but I know you can get them online as well. But yeah, pretty happy about how I turned out. And then I combined it all with the rest of their rewards, got them in their envelopes, and headed over to my mailbox. Well, I hope you liked the video. I hope you look forward to more of these how I make videos. I want to do more stickers for sure, because I know a lot of you have asked about that. But other than that, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you later.